Welcome to another episode of ENA We Got Time. I'm Alex here with a special guest.
G Spence.
Alright, we're going to get straight down to it. Thursday night, we got 49ers at Cardinals. How you feel about that one?
Man, I'm loving what Kyler Murray is doing. Cardinals defense need to get it together. But besides that, 49ers got it all together. 49ers.
I disagree. 49ers don't have it all together. 49ers quarterback still a suspect, but besides that, that defense, if I'm not mistaken, I read somewhere they have eight of those starters are picked in the top 2 rounds. So these are some very high draft picks. These teams sucking a whole lot throughout the years. But I do think they get after Kyler Murray a lot in this game. I think it's going to be a long day for them. And out of 49ers winning this game pretty soundly. Top of Sunday, we got Texans at Jags.
Man, I love Deshaun Watson. I love DeAndre Hopkins. I feel like they're going to miss Will Fuller. They just lost J.J. Watt for the season. But I think Leonard Fournette's going to have a good game. I think Minshew slowly but surely, he's getting experience. I got Jaguars winning by 6.
I'm going opposite with it. Deshaun Jackson threw a touchdown last week with one eye.
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Watson, you know what I mean? Deshaun Jackson ain't playing right now. But I got the Texans winning this. The Jags, I like what Minshew's been doing. I like the way the team's still been keeping on without, Nick Foles and Jalen Ramsey parting. But I think the Texans are a bit too much for them. I think they'll win this game by a touchdown. Next up, we have Redskins at Bills.
Is this a joke?
No, this is the actual game on schedule.
Bills.
You want to know a big joke? Redskins and Dolphins are playing.
Bills.
Yeah, I got the Bills also win this game pretty soundly. The Redskins might as well just take the rest of the year.
Who's starting this week for the Redskins? Who's starting quarterback this week? Someone let me know.
I know Milan gonna do something to the Bills. Now, he just dropped something on Xavier Rhodes. Now, he's a shining star so far.
Literally. And honestly, you know who's honestly people been sleeping on for the Redskins? Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson actually is having a solid campaign this year. I mean, it sucks his team isn't
better
doing
get back
anything.
out there.
He should be back in a couple of weeks.
In the offseason, the Redskins did sign AP to a 2-year deal, and if I'm not mistaken, this is Geis' 2nd year on his deal. So he's going to be here also for your 3rd, so you might want to look at that running back competition they got going on. One of the more exciting games of the week, we got Vikings at Chiefs. Now, I just talked about how, the 3rd round guy was doing it up on Xavier Rhodes. The Purple People Eaters aren't the Purple People Eaters of last year. Now, granted, Mahomes hopefully does not play for safety precaution. But Matt Moore, he actually didn't play that bad against Green Bay last week. And they're a pretty alright defense. I think if the Chiefs have all their weapons, I don't see why they can't make a case. I got a case that Chiefs might win this game at home. Solely because they're at home. If this was in Minnesota, I'd probably give it to Minnesota.
I got 3 words for you. I'm sorry, 4. You like that, baby? But nah, man. Kirk Cousins got criticized openly by his own wide receivers, openly by his own coach, openly by his fans. And I don't know if you remember his last year with the Redskins, he took that criticism and turned it into how many 300-yard games in a row? Now, I think Adam Thielen comes back.
Yeah, he should be back.
I think the Vikings go into Kansas City, and they win a pretty close game, but it should be an offensive battle. But I got Vikings about 3 or 4.
Not bad. We got Jets at Dolphins. Jets. The Dolphins are pretty much either tanking for Tua or Jalen Hurts at this point in time. I don't.
No Joe Burrow love?
No.
No love for Joe Burrow. People, y'all heard this.
In the next 2 weeks, we're gonna see about this Joe Burrow thing. But anyway, in the next 2 seasons, the Dolphins have 5 first-round picks and 4 second-round picks. All that is real fine and dandy, but if they don't use it right, It's gonna be pointless. Yeah, but Jets definitely winning this game.
Definitely.
Bears at Eagles. Now we previously had to talk about this. I personally think the Bears defense is going to show out, and I think it will put the Bears offense as well as the special teams. I think they'll put the Bears offense in position to score points. The problem is the quarterback's not that good, and he's already playing on a hurt shoulder. I know he tried really hard against the Chargers, and he brought him within one kick and miss. He had that real good garbage time last 5 minutes against the Saints. He put up 2 touchdowns, really not that important. But I got the Eagles. They have the better quarterback. Their defense is suspect, but I believe Eagles at home can put up more points than the Bears defense and special teams.
I like what you said about the Eagles having a better quarterback. Carson Wentz is the man. People still sleep on Carson Wentz. But I have a question for you. Where is Zach Ertz? Where has Zach Ertz been?
You want to see?
I think a lot of that has to do with the Deshaun Jackson injury. It hasn't been opening up a lot for Zach Ertz. But I personally feel whether they get D-Jack back, whether they don't get D-Jack back, I think the Bears defense has a lot to prove considering they haven't been playing like the Bears defense that we know of.
Yeah.
Mitchell Trubisky, you can't put the pressure on him and hope that he's gonna win you the game. They have a rookie running back, David Montgomery. He just had a breakout game last week, and I think he's gonna continue it this week. I got the Bears upsetting the Eagles at home.
Okay. Next up we got Colts at Steelers. I got the Colts pretty soundly in this game. Mason Rudolph, I watched him the other night. He made a couple good throws, but once again, he wasn't playing anybody who's even a 500 caliber at this point. James Conner's out for an extended period of time. That's also going to hurt the development
I'll
of.
sleep on Jalen Sanders, maybe.
Okay. I just believe. Also, no slight to him, Jacoby Brissett's playing some really good football this year. And I like what he's done as he's a Super Bowl starting quarterback. I just think they're a way more complete team and they'll get this done.
At the beginning of the season, before Andrew Luck retired, I had the Colts playing the Saints in the Super Bowl. No Andrew Luck. I still stick to that pick. I agree with you. The Colts have, I personally feel, the most complete team in the AFC. Now, with that being said, what about the Patriots? Patriots are great. Tell them play a good team, and we'll talk.
That is a fact.
But I'll go. See, I love Minka Fitzpatrick too. I'm gonna go with the Colts.
We have a pretty decent game coming up there. We got Titans at Panthers. Who you got?
I'm going with the road team in this one, man. The Titans have a stout defense, especially on the road, and it's been like that since last year, and I think they'll continue that. So I'm going with the Titans.
I'm going Panthers. I like what they're doing. McCaffrey's been Iron Man. He's really doing a lot in this offense. Greg Olsen, he's going to be back. Titans have done a pretty bad job at covering the tight end. I know he's a little older, but he still finds ways to get open. You still got Samuel Moore, take the top off. I really just have like the Panthers at home against this Titans team that really plays some iffy football at times. I believe the Panthers are a more consistent team as of right now, so I have to pick the Panthers at home. We have the Lions at Raiders.
The Raiders still in Oakland, man. They're playing for a life. Obviously, they're going to be moving to Vegas soon. A lot of people say, oh, watch the year they go to Vegas. It's the year they go to the Super Bowl. John Gruden's trying to show something this year. Derek Carr is trying to show something this year.
Derek Carr's trying to show he's going to keep his job.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. Man's getting paid. The Lions. I love Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford, to me, is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in this league and one of the most underappreciated. Matt Patricia is doing a damn good job with the Lions, especially on defense. But
big play can slay, you know.
But at home, I think I'm gonna go with the Raiders on this one.
I'm picking the Lions. As you said, Matt Stafford's a very underrated quarterback. I believe he's better than Derek Carr. I like the Lions' defense a whole lot more than the Raiders' defense, who I think is ranked in the bottom 5. I like the Lions' offense, but I just like the Lions completely better than the Raiders, aside from the running back position. I do like what Josh Jacobs is doing with the Raiders, but aside from that, I think I'm going with the Lions.
Why didn't the Lions trade for Melvin Gordon? No?
Who knows? Bucks at Seahawks. Well, I think James Winston's going to throw for about 350, about 3 or 4 touchdowns, about 3 or 4 interceptions, and Seattle's going to win this game at home. I think it should be a high-scoring game. I think this game could go into the 30s.
I think Russell Wilson is going to Russell Wilson. I think we kind of sleep on the Bucks defensive coordinator Todd Bowles. He actually game's playing pretty well against higher caliber quarterbacks, I guess you could say. But I still think Russell Wilson is going to Russell Wilson. Pete Carroll, you already know. He's already played against, coached against Bruce Arians in the past. Seahawks all day.
Next up, we have Browns at Broncos.
Browns coming off of to me, a heartbreaking loss against the Patriots.
What's heartbreaking?
And the way they started off the game, you can't go into a game. You can't go into a game and turn the ball over 3 times in 3 possessions. You can't go in there and do that. Now, given I believe the Patriots have the #1 defense in the league this year.
They haven't played too many good teams either, but yeah.
So that's my question. As much talent as the Browns have on their team, do you consider them a good team?
No.
Or do you consider them a badly coached team?
No discipline. Overrated quarterback. I give them top 20.
Top 20? And who are they playing? The Broncos. The Broncos fans should be thanking the Lord. They lost Joe Flacco, so hopefully the Joe Flacco era is over in Denver. Shout out to my cousin Deontay Spencer. The Browns can't get it together. I have the Broncos.
Yeah, the Browns are in the top 3 in penalties and turnovers for the year. Like we said, they're badly disciplined team. They're really not that disciplined. They make a lot of key mistakes. Quarterback is very overhyped and to me not good at all, and undersized. But that's besides the point. I like the Broncos at home.
Undersized.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of shorter quarterbacks. I'm just not.
Who that, Drew?
He's how many quarterbacks are there? 32. How many are under 6 foot?
Kyler Murray, Russell
He's
Wilson.
a 5 foot.
Kyler Murray is 5'10".
He's not 5'10".
Drew Brees is 5'11". Russell Wilson is 6.
Russell Wilson is 5'11" probably. If they did that thing they doing with the NBA, was hey look, we gonna get y'all real hype. He gonna be under 6 foot, and that's why
Russell Wilson does have a little hair. So
nah, we're not counting that. There's 3 out of 32.
I mean, there's more. Let's go. Let's continue.
All right. Packers at Chargers. I think they should be open and shut.
Yeah, Packers.
Packers definitely. Most interesting game of the week, I think. Pats at Ravens.
Most definitely the most interesting. Who you got? What you?
I love what Lamar Jackson is doing and the progression he's made. Instead of doing commercials, he's actually practicing a lot this off season, and it really shows. He put on, I want to say this is 10 pounds of muscle, so he's not as sleeker, leaner as he was. And he's still running the football a lot, but I think he's doing a much safer and better job at not taking those big hits, getting out of bounds, and actually attempting more difficult throws throughout these games. I like the addition of Hollywood Brown. He'll be back. Willie Snead. I really like this Ravens team and what they do. It's just too bad they have to play the Patriots. I said all that just to say that. Bill Belichick is doing a great job this year at just play calling for the defense. Granted, they haven't played any good teams, and they really haven't played any really mobile quarterbacks. But I think what's going to happen to Lamar is going to happen. What happened last playoffs. You're going to send about 5 or 6 DBs out there and make you throw the ball. Like, we're not going to let you get your little 10, 12 yards every other time you feel like it. We're going to make you sit in that pocket. We're going to make you throw the ball. And that's where Hollywood Brown comes in. He finally has a really true number 1 receiver. Willis Snead's good, but he's more of a number 2. I just think the Pats defense is still going to be a bit too much for Lamar Jackson. Oh, and fun fact, Bill Belichick has won 26 straight games against quarterbacks 25 and under, and Lamar Jackson on 25, and I believe that streak will continue, but I think this will be a big lesson for him, and I think moving forward, he will be better because of his loss.
I like everything you just said, except about the Patriots winning this game. Number 1, I love what Lamar Jackson's doing.
Oh, yeah,
I love the fact that they wouldn't get Mark Ingram in the offseason. I hate it from a Saints fan standpoint, but as far as what we're doing, I love the fact that they wouldn't get Mark Ingram. They have a dependable running back, which is something that they did not have in the past couple of years.
I think last year they went through about 5 or 6.
Exactly. Whenever it comes down to the fact that you're depending on Ty Montgomery to lead your backfield, that should tell you something.
Collins.
Exactly. Alex Collins.
Various other people.
Gus Edwards. But Mark Ingram has done a great job in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson still probably has more rushing yards than him. However, whenever Lamar Jackson can't run the ball, what are they doing? Giving the ball to Mark Ingram. Another thing that people are sleeping on is Lamar Jackson is making a lot of throws that he was not able to make last year. He's putting them in very tight spots. There was one game this year, I'd be lying if I told you who it was against, but it was to whomever. It was the drive to go win the game, and your receiver's running to the sideline, and this dude dropped that ball perfectly.
Right.
That's something he could not do last year, and he's doing it pretty consistently this year. I have the Ravens upsetting the Patriots. Okay. We're only going to have one undefeated team at the end of this week, and it's going to be the 49ers.
I'm sorry, somebody said, all right, and Monday we have a very lackluster game. I'm a Giants fan, but I'm not stopping anything to watch this game too much. Cowboys at Giants. The only thing you can really say about this game is it's a divisional game. Historically, these are the 2 most successful teams in the division. I know DeMarcus Lawrence and Robert Quinn, they took to Twitter today, which, most people have a lot of time on their hands to do because they're not playing too good football right now, either one of them. They called Daniel Jones Baby Eli, which was, I guess, comical. I mean, they have the same mannerism. They really don't talk a lot to the media. They're kind of just, guys who just go in there, hey, how you doing, answer your question. They're not too theatrical. They just kind of get to...
You know what's great about this? Daniel Jones, I hope you're listening. If I'm Daniel Jones, I'm saying thank you.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Eli Manning is the only quarterback to beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl twice.
I do hope for a good game, and this will be the first week we have all our offensive weapons. Barkley, Shepard, Ingram, Darius Slayton from Auburn has been a huge help.
Golden Tate,
he also will help. My defense is starting to look somewhat better. We also picked up another D lineman before the trade deadline. I haven't been able to watch too much film on him. I do know he was a former first rounder, and he did make a Pro Bowl team, so that is something to put some stock in. I'm pretty much just gonna watch this game for fantasy, but I would not be surprised if the Giants would somehow upset this team. Now, I don't think this will be a blowout whatsoever, but I do think this will be a close game. It's just not something I'm too excited about.
I think if the Giants defense can keep them in the game, I think Daniel Jones and Saquon, You just named all the receivers that will open up the game. You got Golden Tate can take the top off.
Darius Slayton.
Exactly.
In the middle.
That's what I'm saying.
We definitely have the we can definitely put up the points. It's just, if we can get some nice key stops.
So who you picking?
I'm picking the Cowboys. I'm a realist. I've probably picked against the Giants 7 times this year. If Amari Cooper was not playing, because that's Golden Boy, he bails him out of a lot of tight windows because he's not that good. But if Amari Cooper was not playing, I would definitely pick the Giants at home. But this is a rebuild. This is a team we're rebuilding, so I'm not looking for too many wins this year. At the start of the season, I want to say we go 6-10. I'm probably going to bring that down to about 4-12. Get us a nice good draft pick. And no, I do not want Chase Young. He runs in a 4-3 defense. We have a 3-4 defense. For all you Giants fans, I'm on a lot of chats. I see y'all asking for him. Do not get him. We can find somebody else. But I got Cowboys 24-17.
You see how many upsets I picked this week?
Mm.
I'm rolling with the upset.
Oh, Giants. Oh, you picked
I'm going with the Giants.
Okay. Well,
I'm a realist too, but if you ever think I'm gonna pick the Cowboys to win it,
I mean, I don't really like them too much either, but they're in my division.
nah, they have a stellar offense for sure. They have great, and they really do. They really do.
They got a great.
Do you consider it? Okay, Ezekiel Elliott is easily a top 3 running back.
That's a fact.
Amari Cooper is easy, at least at this point in his career, compared to others. I put him in the top 5 wide receivers.
That's a tight window you squeezing them in, but yeah.
Name the other 4 before him.
Julio plays on such a terrible team. Mike Evans plays on such a terrible team, and I think both of them are better than him.
I think Amari Cooper is just not if he's not as big as Julio, but I think he's just as good as Julio. He runs routes better than Julio. Julio's just so big. Antonio Brown was hands down, to me, the best route runner in football, but does that make him the best receiver?
No.
With Amari Cooper, I think he has all that together. He has the route running, he has the speed, and he has the hands.
I'm not picking Amari Cooper over Mike Evans.
No, I'm still putting Michael Thomas as number 1.
Michael Thomas is definitely over Amari Cooper. Julio is over Amari Cooper. Mike Evans is over him. He just plays for a terrible team. He's gonna break a record.
Mike Evans?
He's gonna break a record this year. The first.
Mike Evans still puts up numbers, even on a terrible team, but you don't sleep on Amari Cooper.
I'm not sleeping. I'm just saying you could put him in the top 5, but that's tight now. That's tight.
I put him over Odell.
Odell's just not having a good. Well, he's a bad quarterback.
Man, I'm sorry, but
Bad quarterback.
I probably.
Seen the numbers he was putting up with Eli?
All right, here's my top 5. Y'all heard it first here. Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins. This was a tough one right here.
Yeah, because everything after like the first 2 is kind of like, ooh.
I'm probably going to say honestly Amari Cooper. And the only reason why, like I just said, he put the whole package together.
See, whereas sleeping on
who?
Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's a way better route runner. Faster. He has some really good short hands. Keenan Allen's playing for a bad team. That's it for this episode. At the end, we got time. We appreciate all y'all for y'all time. Appreciate my special host for coming today. And we out.
Who that?